What's going on, everyone? My name's Obi, and welcome back to the Courtside Financial Podcast, the podcast where we talk about business and technology. Now, you guys know what irritates me in this industry is where everybody on YouTube kind of always talks, or not even just on YouTube, everybody in the community in general seems to focus on the delivery numbers. On this channel, we focus on delivery numbers and everything else that actually matters. And so what matters right now? Safety and quality. The stuff that keeps you alive when you're cruising down the highway at 80 miles per hour. Now, before I get into this, let me be transparent with y'all. Some of y'all, if you're new, I'm a NIO bull. Have been for years. You can watch the very first episode I've ever done on this channel. It's about NIO. I've been invested before I posted that video, but I've definitely been invested since I've posted that video. But today's episode isn't about pumping my bags. It's about something much more serious happening in the Chinese EV market right now, and why NIO's approach might actually be the antidote to solving that problem. Let me paint a picture of what's going on in the Chinese EV market right now. We've got consumers reporting locked steering wheels on highways, axles snapping, reports of axles snapping when going over speed bumps, not potholes, and consumers only getting about 70% of the estimated range that vehicles are supposed to get. This isn't a distant problem, and these aren't isolated incidents. We're talking about 948 complaints about false mileage claim just this year alone. That's nearly 3 complaints every single day about cars not delivering what they promised. But here's where my perspective, both as an investor and someone who actually cares about this technology succeeding, comes in. We've got an entire generation of consumers buying EVs like they're smartphones. Oh, I'll just replace this in 3 years, so why worry about the safety details anyway? That's not just dangerous thinking, folks. It's economically backwards. These aren't just $1,000 iPhones. We're talking about $50,000 to $100,000 investments that are supposed to transport your family safely for decades. Now, while the broader market's dealing with these issues, let's talk about what NIO is doing differently. On August 21st, that's exactly 1 week from today, NIO is unveiling their 3rd generation ES8 flagship SUV. And this isn't just another incremental update. NIO CEO William Li, the company's CEO, is literally driving the new updated ES8 to Mount Everest as we speak. Today marks the 6th day of their journey, and they'll have covered 1,723 kilometers. Now, some might call this a publicity stunt, but I call this putting your money where your mouth is. You don't drive your flagship SUV to one of the most challenging environments on Earth unless you're confident in its engineering. The specs tell a story too. The ES8 is bigger, 5,280 millimeters long versus 5,099 millimeters for the previous gen. That's 181 millimeters of additional length, and more importantly, it's getting the same 102 kilowatt hour battery pack that's in the ET9, their executive flagship. So this isn't cost cutting, this is technology sharing from the top down. But here's what I find most interesting from an investment perspective. NIO moved their annual event NIO Day from December to this fall specifically to launch the ES8. That's a big deal. NIO Day is their Super Bowl iPhone launch event. You don't move something like that unless you've got something truly special. Now let me connect the dots that I think the market is missing. While we're hearing about steering wheels locking up and axles breaking across the Chinese EV space, let's look at what NIO's sub-brands just achieved. Both the NIO Firefly and the Onvo L60 received some of the highest safety ratings from the China Insurance Automotive Safety Index. They tied with the IDO M9 for the highest scores in the latest evaluation. All categories were rated G or G+. That's like getting straight A's in safety school. Now here's the kicker. The Firefly is a small car. Daniel Jin, Firefly's president, said due to various constraints such as cost and size, it's very challenging to achieve higher safety standards for a small car. The Firefly has a short front and rear overhangs, meaning minimal crumple zone. Yet they still achieve top safety ratings through what they call smart overall vehicle design, powerful hardware capabilities, and high quality material. Compare that to Tesla's Model 3 in the same evaluation. It got an M rating for crash worthiness and repair economy. It's not terrible, but it's not excellent either. Here's my take on why this matters from an investment standpoint. The Chinese EV market is experiencing what I call a race to the bottom mentality. Companies are cutting costs on invisible components, using cast iron instead of forged aluminum for suspension components, reducing brake pad friction coefficient, and switching to second-tier battery suppliers for mid-range to lower end model. This creates massive opportunity for companies like NIO that refuse to compromise on safety and quality. Think about it, when you've got consumers realizing that their smart car can't even recognize that there's a guardrail out there and it accelerates into it instead of avoiding it, or when their axles snap in parking lots, where do you think they're gonna go next? They're gonna prioritize safety, and when they do, NIO's gonna be sitting pretty with the highest safety ratings across their entire brand portfolio. Now let's talk about the numbers that matter beyond the monthly deliveries. The ES8 delivered 4,199 units in the first 7 months of 2025. That's down almost 20% year over year. On the surface that looks bad, but July alone saw 1,090 deliveries, marking a new high since January 2024. Why is this happening right before the third generation launch? Well, it's simple. Consumers are waiting. When you know a completely redesigned version with 181 millimeters more length, a 102 kilowatt hour battery pack, and all the latest technology is coming in a month, you wait. That's actually a good thing. It means your brand has enough equity that consumers will actually delay a purchase to get the latest version. That's iPhone level brand loyalty in the automotive space. Here's what I think happens next. Looking forward, I think that the Chinese EV market is going through a quality reckoning. Consumers are going to start demanding proof of safety and reliability, not just big screens and 0 to 60 time. Companies that invested properly in R&D, quality control, and safety engineering are going to emerge as winners. Companies that cut corners to hit price points, well, they're going to face lawsuits, recalls, and reputation damage. NIO, with a decade of accumulated technology experience, as CEO William Li put it, is well positioned to win in the future of this market. Their battery swap network gives them operational advantages, but their safety record is what gives them brand differentiation as well. So look, I'm bullish on NIO, but this isn't about blind optimism. This is about recognizing that the Chinese EV market is maturing, and mature markets, what do? They recognize or reward quality over flash. NIO spent years building the right infrastructure, the proper safety systems, and proper quality control, while others were racing to market with flashy features. You guys get what I'm saying in this video. I think you get what I'm saying in this video. If you do, leave a comment down below. That's it for this episode. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell icon. Happy Thursday, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Courtside Financial Podcast. Thanks for watching. This is Obi signing off. Take care.